Hey everybody, it's Sensei Sid with Fields Karate, and I've got your next Karate at Home video assignment for you. Now, like all of our others, I want you to start with your stretches, your calisthenics. You know why these are important by now. I also want you to do your kata. Focus on your kata especially. No fewer than 10 kata total, but I want you to work on every kata you know at least 3 times. Now, a note about your kata as you practice these. I know that doing 10 katas all in a row, especially if all you know is Heian Shodan and Heian Nidan, it seems like a lot. For your kata especially, and this is true of your other training as well, but for your kata especially, it's almost better to split it up into a couple of training sessions. Remember, these assignments don't have to be done in one setting. If you can, that's great, but sometimes you may want to do it over 2 days or 3 days, and that's okay. It is better, especially with your kata, to do 5 kata every day for 2 days than 10 katas all in 1 day. Or to do 3 or 4 katas every day over 3 days than it is to do 10 katas in 1 day. It's not just about the time or the number of times you do a kata. It's about how long you practice the kata overall. So that's why you don't learn karate and get good at it in a 3-month intensive session. If you did karate for 8 hours a day, every day for 3 months, you still couldn't get very far compared to doing kata 1 or 2 hours a day for 3 or 4 years. That makes a big difference. So karate training takes a long time. It's not just the number of hours, but it's a compounding effect from one day to the next. So if you want to take these assignments and break them up over 2 days or 3 days, that is perfectly okay. In fact, that's probably a good idea, even if all you do is do that for your katas. Now again, with every training session you do, if you do 3 sessions over 3 days, do your stretches and your calisthenics all 3 days. But then break your katas up over those. And if you want to do your focus or your conditioning just one of those days, that's okay. If you want to do it on several days, that's even better. So for this assignment, that might be 1 day, that might be 3 days. That's up to you. Do your stretches, do your calisthenics, do your kata, and then I want you to move into your focus. Now, your focus for this assignment is on 1 points. Now, you guys know what 1 points are. We've done these. We've even done these on a video assignment before. And it's where if you have a partner, that's great, or you can imagine having a partner, and that partner throws a strike, you throw 1 block, and you throw 1 counter attack. That's a 1 point. That's a basic 1 point. If your partner throws an attack or multiple attacks, and you throw multiple blocks, and then a counterattack, that makes it an advanced 1 point. Or if you throw multiple counterattacks, or a very, very difficult block or counterattack, those all make them advanced 1 points. But I don't want you to worry so much about advanced versus basic 1 points for this one. But I want you to go through each of the Heian katas that you know. So if you know all 5 of the Heian katas, I want you to pick out your favorite combination within those kata, 1 for each kata, and I want you to put an application to it. So what actually happens is when you take your kata and you do your bunkai, which means to break it down, when you break the kata down into its parts and pieces, then you can take those parts and pieces and apply them. So when I want you to take 1 combination and apply it from each of your Heian katas. Heian Shodan, Nidan, Sandan, Yandan, and Godan. So pick out your favorite, and I want you to apply it. But I want you to figure out how to apply it in 3 different ways. Same combination from each kata, 3 different ways. So here's an example. If you've got a kata and it is just out of Heian Shodan, a down block, step, mid punch. Okay? Very basic, very easy. But one of our applications would be you have an opponent that throws a low strike to the thigh, you block that strike, and you step and you punch for your counterattack. That's 1 variation, 1 application. But maybe instead of a punch, your opponent throws a kick low, and so now you're blocking a kick and throwing that punch. Okay, so that's 2 variations, 2 different applications. And maybe now For your third, instead of a punch or a kick, you have an opponent that comes in and he grabs you by the leg and he's trying to pull your leg out from under you. So you're going to step forward as he's pulling back. You're going to step forward into that Zenkutsu Dachi, and now your down block becomes a low hammer fist strike. You strike him in the head. Okay? And as he recovers, he backs up, and then you throw that punch to finish him off. So now you start realizing that sometimes your blocks, a down block, is actually a low hammer fist strike. Blocks can be strikes, and strikes can be blocks. And blocks and strikes can be locks. Sometimes your application, you're actually grabbing someone. In fact, as you get more advanced in your kata and in your training, you'll realize that this reaction hand that we talk about all the time, this hikite, is actually, as a translation, hikite means pulling hand. And it's not just chambering and getting ready for the next block or strike, but it's actually grabbing your opponent, pulling them in as you strike out. Or as you block out, you're pulling them in. You want your opponent close. You don't always want to fight at distance. Sometimes you want to pull them in close. And so that's what your hikite often is for. So that can play into your variations, your different applications. Now, this can be very, very simple as you go through and find different applications. A very simple difference of an opponent throwing a low punch versus a low kick. Two different applications. But then you can make it very, very advanced. So for my purple and my brown belts, I want to see some more creativity out of you guys. You have a greater arsenal, you understand the techniques better. So have some fun with this. And again, if you have a partner, great. Have them do this and go slow. Work it out, figure it out. Okay? On these, there's not a set right and wrong. Now, there are some ways that you might use these that are wrong. But oftentimes, it's not right or wrong, it's just different. Just make sure the point of all this is that you can make your kata work, that it's practical, that it's functional. In karate training, in self-defense, if it doesn't work, it's pointless. We train for defense, and the defense has to work. So I want you to go through all of the Heian katas that you know. So if all you know is Heian Shodan, pick out your favorite part of Heian Shodan, your favorite sequence, and use it in 3 different applications, 3 different ways to use it. But if you know all 5 of the Heian katas, I want you to pull one from each one of those katas and apply it 3 different ways. So this is going to make you analyze your kata. This is going to make you break it down or do your bunkai, and then it's going to make it practical, useful for you. So that's your focus for today's assignment. Now, once you've gotten through all of that and you've worked it, and that might take some time. You might need some help. That's okay. If you need to ask me, shoot me an email, drop a comment down in the section below. Feel free to do that. I'll be glad to answer your questions. If you've got a partner that can do that, or a parent, get them to help you think through it and get a little creative. This is one of your opportunities to express yourself in your karate. Karate is not black and white. You have a chance to express yourself here. So do that. And as you're doing that, I would love to see you express yourself. So please, if you get a chance to send me a video or a picture, I would love to see what you're coming up with and how you're putting these katas to good use. Now, once you've done all of that, like all of our other sessions, we want to do a little conditioning, because you in your karate training, you want to become strong and you want to become hard. Now, we focus and we stress our technique to make good technique. We don't depend just on our strength. But to do good technique, you have to have some strength. So today I want you to focus on strength in your core. And to do that, we're going to do a few jackknives. Now, for those of you who don't know or don't remember or just need a refresher, a jackknife is where you start with your hands flat on the floor, down by your hips. You're going to pick your feet up about 6 inches or so. Keep your head down, and you're going to pick your feet straight up so that your hips are at a 90-degree angle. And then as you do that, you're going to push straight up, and then come back down. Okay? So keeping your head down, pull up, push up, back down, and then lay your feet back down, but never touch the floor with your feet, okay? Remember to coordinate your breathing. As you do this, make sure you breathe in when you bring your feet up and breathe out as they go up. Now, if you have a partner or a parent or someone that can help you with this, it's helpful to have a goal or a target to point up with your feet. So if they can stand over you and put their hand out for you, you can reach up and try to touch the palm of their hand with the tips of your big toes. And then they can adjust the height from there, but you want to try to push all the way up and then in a controlled way, lay back down. I want you to work on doing 25 of those jackknives for each session that you do. And this is going to make you a little bit stronger in your core. The reason core strength is so important in your karate training is everything starts in there. Everything goes through your torso. So you need a strong core, strong torso, to be able to transfer all the power you generate from pushing off your feet out through your hands. It also is important because that strength also helps you harden your torso, especially your stomach, so that when we do get hit in our karate training or in a real fight, when we get hit, that hit is not so devastating. It makes us tougher. So that's your assignment for today. I want you to make sure to go through your kata, work that out, have some fun with it, and if you can show me what you're working on, I'd love to see it, and then work on those jackknives. I miss you guys, and I hope to get you back in the dojo soon. Train hard, keep at it.